Hey guys, it's Eric with the Miller Park Minute, where we're throwing strikes and getting likes, hitting dingers and getting listeners. We're back again with yet another podcast. So it is approaching opening day fast. We are less than 2 weeks away, and that means it is time for our annual subscriber push. This year we are aiming for 3,000 subs on the YouTube channel. And the podcast, we're just looking for more listeners. So if you guys are not yet subscribed to the Miller Park Minute, please go over to the YouTube channel, hit that little red subscribe button, and like some videos. And there's plenty of content. I'm going to keep producing content on the daily up until the season. And during the season, we're going to bring Rob back for some more podcasts. We got a good episode coming where we're going to be previewing the AL and NL East. We're going to talk about some new rule changes for MLB and a bevy of other topics. So make sure to tune in that next time you see the Butcher on the Miller Park Minute podcast. All right, we're going to get right into today's show. We are currently live watching the game. It's 8-7. We are in the top of the seventh. Burnes got to pitch today. He went 4 innings. That was the huge positive for him. We've seen a little bit of hitting out of our good friend Keston Huira, which is a good thing. He hit a home run in tonight's game. Right now it looks like Severino is up to bat. He's been doing serviceably well. He had a couple RBIs tonight. Maybe that's not so. Yeah, that's Severino. Anyways, so we're gonna get right into this. Huira is our first topic of tonight, and it comes on a night where he's actually sorry, messages coming in while I'm podcasting. Huira has changed his swing up, and that could be the reason he is starting to come around. I believe this is his second dinger in a spring training game, so he's looking pretty good. I think we'll be able to use him in that platoon position with the first base and the DH role. I think that's going to come beneficial to him. As Rob and I talked the other night, he isn't really very good defensively at any position, so that'll be huge. I'm not going to cover too much of this because I already covered this. If you go back to the YouTube channel, the ARB video is up talking about the arbitration contracts that we already had signed. Some good deals for some players who got a much needed raise, but there is one outlier, so go back and watch that video and find out who the outlier is and what reason they are outlying. We got a strobe effect going on my computer, sorry about that. Urias, I think you all know he injured his quad. He is currently not looking like an opening day, so that's where Jace Peterson and Mike Brazio, I think I said that right, Mike Brazio are going to be our options there. Both of them have looked pretty good this spring. Jace is kind of continuing his utility, being able to hit, getting on base. He's gotten on base a couple times already tonight. So these are all good things for us, unfortunately, for Urias, who is looking to be one of the kind of the up-and-comers. He's going to be a breakout candidate this season, along with Willie Adames and a couple other guys. So it's very important that he gets back and gets healthy. So I'd rather not have him push, and he just get back healthy at this juncture. New rules, I wanted to talk about this. The Ghost Runner and the DH. So Ghost Runner returns. That's what they've been kind of coining and saying this as, and it's kind of funny to hear. I actually heard this on a podcast earlier today, and it kind of made me laugh a little bit. The runner on second base in extra innings is being called the Ghost Runner. Now, I remember Ghost Runners from when I played baseball as a kid and we didn't have enough guys, so we put a Ghost Runner. A Ghost Runner was a guy that wasn't actually standing on the base. In this case, we're using him as a guy that's standing on a base. Now, if you listen to any other baseball podcast, they talk about this too, and they talk about that you could use any other term for that, and I agree. You could have it be like a sponsored name thing. I actually stole that from a podcast earlier today. It could be the Chevrolet runner, extra inning runner, or whatever. You know, you can make it something. The extra inning runner rule makes a lot more sense. It's lame. I really can't believe that the players and MLB brought this back. I can't believe the players agreed to it, but I think it's one of those things where it comes down to safety and health, and any time that safety and health get brought up, they tend to lean and buckle towards those things. So we're going to see that continue. I'm going to talk about the DH for a moment, and this was something Buster Only was talking about, and I don't know if a lot of us Brewers fans knew about this. I've talked to a couple people, and not many knew what exactly I was talking about. So the Brewers actually had a tradition, long-standing pitcher tradition, that any pitcher that got on base via a 4-pitch walk without swinging their bat got a trophy. And this was a traveling trophy that traveled throughout the years. So every time that this happened, said starting pitcher or pitcher that got on via the walk without swinging their bat would get this trophy. So they were a little sad, apparently, when this rule was announced. Now, I don't know numbers and I don't know statistics on this. We haven't seen them yet, but I think there's a percentage of pitchers who still would like to hit, and it's just going to be an adjustment. It's adjustment for me to even watch these games with it in there. I think it's going to be an adjustment for all of us. Long live pitchers hitting and pitchers raking and hitting dingers. I don't know if I think I've mentioned this in a previous video, but I actually own a ball sitting right here on the shelf from when Giovanni Gallardo pinch hit in a game in the 10th inning against the Orioles, and he hit a double that went over the fence, a ground rule double, and walked off the game for the Brewers. And then I think he pitched the next night, so it's really a cool scenario. I own that ball. I spent way too much money on it, but I own that ball, and I bought it directly from the Milwaukee Brewers. It's authenticated and everything like that, so super cool. If you guys don't watch MLB Network content, I know some of it can be boring, and they don't really talk about the Brewers too much, but 2 shows to watch that do talk about Brewers and talk about Brewers in a very positive light are the top 10 right now. Top 10 right now starting pitchers, and top 10 right now relievers. Of course, we have the number 1 on the top 10 relievers right now in Josh Hader. I did a whole video you can go back and watch that I talk about Josh Hader and how great Josh Hader is. But he's easily the number 1 pitcher, relief pitcher in the game right now, and that just proves it right there. We are watching magic on the mound in the 9th inning or 8th inning, wherever they play him. But then, for the starting pitchers, we had Corbin Burnes rank at number 9, which you may say, whoa, Eric, he was a Cy Young, had a no-hitter last year. Why is he number 9? Well, they also use the last couple of years' stats. So they use, I believe it's 3 years in total stats. And he obviously really had a sharp 2021, but prior to that, he wasn't as sharp as he is now. Got in the pitching lab and changed things, hence why it's better. Top 5 for Woody, goes without saying, he's been consistent. He was a Cy Young contender as well. And Freddie Peralta was on the outside looking in on the official list by the Shredder. But the panelists and the different personalities that they had actually ranked Freddie in there as well as one of the top 10. And they ranked Burnes a lot higher. They actually ranked Burnes number 2 and number 1, respectively, in different lists. Same with Woody. So there was a lot of good information, a lot of numbers and stuff to dive into. I don't cover numbers as much. If you don't notice, I don't really hit on numbers too much, but that's okay. That is, what it is. I might start talking a few more numbers here and there, but I like to just talk about concepts. I'm more of a concept guy. I could present you all the numbers that back up what I have to say. If you'd ever like to see them, I'll link them below, or you just shoot me a message and I'll give you the numbers and what I'm looking at and what I'm using for my information. Jace, we'll see the time at third. We already talked about that. Jace is very excited in his utility position. He's coming out of spring training hitting the ball, so it's really good to see that. He's been doing very well for us. Just a couple notes from the other night's game. Hader struck out the side. It was good to see Hader come in and beat vintage Hader, and he's really been locked in. And that's one of the things that I wanted to mention again. with Corbin going 4 innings tonight, albeit he didn't have the greatest of outings, it's showing that these guys are primed and have already put in the work this offseason to get to where they are, to have this shortened spring training, to be ready to start the season. A lot of talk has been made at this juncture about where we are in the offseason and how we're getting a short start and pitchers are getting less time. We're getting extra players to the roster for this particular reason, because I think they're worried about bullpen arms more than they are starting arms, because starters are already kind of cranking it up at this time and they're working out on their own anyways. But that being said, to see Corbin Burnes go 50 pitches tonight was a good thing. I think we're going to start seeing the relievers and pitchers get dialed up to a few more outs, a few more innings, a few more pitches, really aggressively next week. So it was good to see that Hauser struck out 5, which is kind of funny considering Hauser is notoriously a ground ball pitcher. But that was good that he struck out 5. That's great. If you guys haven't already tuned in, the golden voice of the radio made his return on yesterday's game. I was fortunate. I happened to be in my car for a good 2 hours of the game. And it's just great to hear Bob back. One of the things that he was talking about was Nori Aoki. And he relayed a story of a arm wrestling match between his translator and a translator off the Royals. Really funny story. And then he actually mentioned that he had a good friendship with Aoki, and actually Aoki wanted Bob to give the middle name to his son. And he originally suggested Uke, and then he said, no, we can't do Uke. And then he ended up giving it Aaron after Hank Aaron, which is just kind of a cool story, and some, those unique Bob Uecker stories you hear during the game. That was the one thing I caught out of that game yesterday, and I really enjoyed and thought I'd share with you. Yeah. And we've already talked about Corbin Burnes' start tonight. I'm not really too worried about it. I think that he will be just fine. I think spring training is the place where you work out the kinks. There's 2 ways to look at it, 2 sides of the coin here. We can celebrate good things that happen in spring training and be happy with them. And then there's, if bad things happen, well, it's only spring training, so we don't have to worry about it. So I think there's positive and negative to both. I mean, good and bad. Obviously, you want to see him do better, but it's not going to hurt us too bad here at this juncture of the game. Now, if in a week or 2 he's not looking that good, then I'll get concerned. But that's all I've got for you guys tonight. Thank you again for watching and listening to the Miller Park Minute. If you haven't already, go back and check the videos that I've already got. I talked about Hader. We're talking Arb. We're talking Cuts, Corey Ray. I blast Corey Ray. So there's some really fun videos out there. A big, huge one that's important this time of year that I put out, it may save you some money, it may help you out in figuring out what you're going to do and how you're going to watch Brewers games in 2022, is out on the channel. It's called How to Watch Milwaukee Brewers in 2022. Go back, find that video, watch it. It's important. It'll save you some money. That's all I got for tonight, guys. Thank you for listening and watching. You guys have a great day. As always, go Brewers. 8-7 right now. Top 8th. Looks like Doll's up to bat. So I'm going to finish off this game. We're in the latter part of this game where, nothing too exciting happens in a spring training game. But you guys have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you for watching the Miller Park Minute. Go Brewers.